Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Thank you, sir.
Aarti, where do we start from? Your hobbies and interests, or current affairs, or your subject, your choice?
Sir, I'll go with your wisdom.
Sorry?
I'll go with your wisdom, sir.
Okay. So I'll start with your interests. You have worked in slums,
Yes, sir.
correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, because you have worked in slums, you have seen a slum. Can you define a slum for me?
So, the slum is a development, a dwelling where a population lives in an unplanned and a haphazard manner. They are an outcome of emigration in search of employment or any kind of persecution at their native state.
Anything else?
So there's the hygiene and the civic amenities are very much compromised. And also there's low literacy levels, poverty, and low skill acquisition with them. These are the issues.
There's also a connected word called ghetto. Have you heard of that word?
So ghetto.
Ghetto?
Yes.
What exactly is that?
So ghetto is basically isolation of any erstwhile developed area by the developing city or the industrialized area.
Say it again.
Sir, marginalization of any area.
Marginalization how?
Due to the development of the city and the nearby areas.
Who's marginalized?
Of an erstwhile developed region.
Okay. Now, you are from Delhi.
Yes, sir.
Correct. Now, Delhi is a very peculiar kind of place to the extent that one politically, because it's neither a union territory nor a state. Correct? Now, if you recall Article 356 of the Constitution, President's Rule, can President's Rule be imposed in Delhi?
Sir, I think yes, it can be.
Under 356 or some other article?
Sorry, sir.
Under Article 356 or some other article?
Sir, I think under Article 239A, along with 356.
Okay, what does 239A say? What does 239AA say? And what does 239AB say?
So in 239AA, there is a government which is elected by the government of NCT, which is elected by the people. However, the powers of police and the land and the public order lies with the center. And in AB, it is as and when the president can decide upon matters when needed, sir.
Partly correct, partly guesswork. Am I right?
So I've read about it. I am not maybe able to communicate it properly.
All right. Now connected to this, now the elected government in Delhi and the lieutenant governor, much of the time out in the open they are fighting. I mean, the media says it all over the media, and it becomes a very awkward kind of situation. Now Delhi is the national capital. We have foreign embassies, etc., all here. What kind of message are we sending to people when the lieutenant governor and the chief minister are constantly fighting openly? What kind of message is going to the foreign missions, etc., that are in Delhi?
So certainly it is not a good practice which is ongoing. So it is needed that they should sit on tables and decide amicably between things.
Why do you think this is happening? Is the constitution not clear about the powers of both, or is it something more personal between the two?
Sir, I think it's a complex issue. So
Right?
I'm not... Sir, partly the constitution is also responsible, because if we read Article 1 along with Article 239A, it gives a little ambiguity, a little scope. However, if the governments sit together and discuss on issues amicably, the situation may be avoided.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how safe is Delhi for women? 1 being very bad, 10 being very good.
Sir, I'll to the middle line, I think around 5.
You're being politically correct, or you actually mean it?
Sir, I actually mean it.
Okay, my last question connected to this. Why 5? What's wrong with Delhi? Again, a capital city like this should be safe for women. So what's gone wrong?
So may I? So as per the NCRB data, the crime against women has been continuously raising, and Delhi is has the highest crime rate against women. So in Delhi, what happens? There's unplanned development is there for women. There's proper lightening of street has to be done, and the increasing crime rate due to the increasing congestion and unemployment and poverty is also one of the reasons. Sir.
What about the attitudes of men in Delhi towards women?
Sir, it has changed a lot. However, a lot has to be changed.
Thank you.
Okay, Aarti, you have worked in Katputli colony. What is the history of Katputli colony?
So the Katmutli colony is basically occupied by the people from the Rajasthan and other communities. They are basically the snake charmers and the magicians.
Okay.
So they have come there and settled there in search of employment and better life.
But there was a project going on to make houses for them, which they did not occupy, they refused to occupy.
So since the time I was teaching there, at that time there was a kind of protest going on, there was controversy, but however there was a consensus which was achieved that there will be in situ rehabilitation of the project, and in the last year, October, it was supposed to be handed over to them. However, till now they have not received the possession of the houses, so it is on.
The houses have been built.
Yes, sir.
They have been built for ages now. It's been going on. I was in TDA in 2011. At that time, they had already been built. But anyway, so tell me now, this is a problem which you saw on the ground. You decided, I want to fight for the rights of these people so that they get a house. Okay, this is the objective. And let's look at the pillars of democracy. Which are the pillars of democracy?
So the people are the pillars of democracy, executives,
Executive.
and the judiciary, and the fourth
Yeah.
being the media.
Executive, legislature and judiciary, okay? And the media, okay. So what would Aarti do in this situation? Would you go and meet the MLA and you think he'll solve the problem, he or she?
So the rehabilitation problem, or what I have actually done there?
No, I am giving a hypothetical problem that तुमने ये बीड़ा उठाया कि मैं इस problem को हल करूँगी. So where would you go? Will you go and meet the MLA and you think the problem will be solved?
So firstly, I'll talk to the locals over there.
Look, okay,
The people gather the information as in what do they want,
okay.
and what are their demands, and what are their issues. Then I will involve the civil society organization which is actually working over there, which play a crucial role, because
My question is, will you go and meet the MLA? Let's look at the pillars of democracy. Will you go and meet the MLA and solve the problem? Do you think it will be solved through that route?
sir, I'll go through the route. I'll run. If I am determined to do that, I'll run from post to pillar, including the MLA and the civil society organization as well as the media.
Yes, that's where I was pushing you to. So MLA will not solve the problem. Judiciary will take 20 years to solve, right? Executive, have you met any IAS officer so far about Katputli or any other problem so far?
No, sir, not regarding to this, because there I was teaching in the capacity of a volunteer.
Yeah, that's okay. Have you met anybody? No. Okay. They are difficult to meet. Okay, so executive also not possible. Media will publish your story, which is a very flashy story. If there's a rape in Katputli, they'll publish it, but not the living status of those people. So you mentioned civil society. Is civil society a pillar of democracy or not?
So civil society is the hidden arm of the governance system. Any governance has to include the state actors and the non-state actors.
My question is very simple. Is it recognized as a pillar of democracy or not?
Sir, in literary sense, there are three. Coupled by the fourth.
Slightly louder.
So in literary sense, there are three, that is executive, legislature and judiciary, and the fourth being the media. So in literary sense, it's not there, but in letter and spirit, it is there. It is very much there in its spirit.
No, it is there. In letter, it's not there. In spirit, it's there when it comes and do Rasta Roko and Train Roko. So that's what is the issue. Anyway, so do you recognize that Civil society should be a pillar of democracy. Do you recognize that?
Sir, they are doing their bit. They agitate and push the pillars of democracy. So indirectly, yes, they.
Okay. Now, if you become an IAS officer, would you entertain them as a pillar of democracy?
Sir, as voice of people, I will entertain them for sure.
Okay. Yeah, that was the. Okay. Yes, sir.
Yes. Aarti, good morning.
Good morning.
So, you're from computer science background, post graduation, and you have done your geology as well. So, how is computing, especially the advancements, latest technologies in computing, helping the mining and mineral identification?
So though there's no direct correlation between the geology and the computer, however, indirectly they are very much related, especially the advanced computer technologies like the big data, the AI. They're actually helping in mineral prospecting as well as the extraction and the other processes. For example, the data is to be gathered and it can be simplified by way of various algorithms. So in prospecting also it can help, and in exploration also it can help.
So you said there is no direct correlation between computing and geology as such. But very recently, even the quantum computing is used to identify extremely subtle waves, seismic waves, to forecast, to predict the earthquakes or other aspects. Did you come across such things?
Yes, sir. So computer is such a subject. It is evolving day by day with a very fast pace, and it is entering into every field. So conventionally, it did not find any direct correlation. But in today's evolving world, the quantum technology, the AI, the algorithm, the machine learning, everything is helping in every way of life, including the mining and other aspects.
Okay, so the next one, Ladakh has been in news from very long, since last 1 week at least. What was the reason? What's been?
So Ladakh was demanding to be a part of 6th schedule. However, our Honorable Home Minister have offered them to be a part of Article 371, as well as have given them development packages out there, and to develop as autonomous hill councils.
Okay, so as a geology student, so what is the importance of Ladakh?
Sir, Ladakh, being a part of the Himalayan belt, is very much important. First of all, for the study of the evolution of the earth as well as the India, because it finds so many the latest Pleistocene and mammals remains. For example, there are elephants and others. Secondly, for mineral prospecting also it is very much important, because it is developed from the Himalayan and collision thing. So it is very much there.
Okay, so again, with respect to geology and current affairs, we have very recently many initiatives are taken to strengthen the semiconductor industry in India. So with respect to the mineral resources, so what is our self-reliance and what is our import dependence to ensure a strong and vibrant semiconductor industry in India?
Sir, India's import, the 70% of the semiconductors is being imported from China. However, we have taken the note of it and we have understood that it is a very critical mineral which is to be processed and developed and produced in India. We do have ample of resources, so we have to extract them. So for that, we have policies like Semicon policy, India Semicon policy.
What resources?
So resources, the lithium reserves, the vanadium reserves in Arunachal Pradesh is there, in Ladakh is there recently, Jammu Kashmir it is there. So these resources have to be extracted because, for example, lithium is very much important. And if we talk about particularly semiconductors also, so the silicon and the germanium have to be extracted, which India is working upon by missions like semiconductor mission, semicon mission.
So do you think resource availability is the main reason, or the policy making the main reason for Chinese semiconductor industry?
Sir, I think both are equally applicable in the case of China. The lower extraction and then the supply, the global value chain to which they have connected, that plays a very important role. So the extraction, availability as well as its production is important by way of technologies.
Okay, thank you.
Aarti, could you please distinguish between equality before law and equal opportunity of law?
So on Article 14, we have equality before law as well as equal opportunity of law. When it comes to equality before law, every human, be it whichever class, caste, creed, is equal for the law, has to be treated equally. But when it comes to equal opportunity of law, there has to be given certain positive distinctions. For example, we cannot treat different people equally, those who are not given the opportunity. So equal opportunity is to be given. So that is the equality before law and equal opportunity of law.
Now, please, could you tell me why CAA is not violative of Article 14?
Sir, the CAA basically talks about giving the citizenship to 6 minorities that are being persecuted in our neighborhood Muslim majority nations. So we are not including Muslim in the particular clause which after 31st of December 2014, which have those people who have come earlier than that. But we are not disallowing the other minorities or other religion people to take minority under the Citizenship Amendment Act. It is not stopping them. It is just giving membership to a certain set of people which are being persecuted in the neighborhood areas.
When it talks about equality before law, there are 2 sets of people who have come into this country. What is the rationale behind treating them unequally?
So the rationale which is given by the government includes that these 3 countries that we are taking, Bangladesh, Pakistan and Afghanistan, they have declared itself as Islamic countries. So therefore we are continuing considering only those who are not from those majority background. Secondly, we have Rohingyas there, we have Hazaras there. They are coming and staying here, and also they are also eligible for membership based on case to case basis.
It talks about minorities. What is the rationale behind including the Christians in that?
So in particularly CAA?
Yeah. The Hindus are prosecuted in these countries being the Muslim minority. The Hindus were prosecuted, they have come to this country. They have been sort of distinguished as a separate category. What is the rationale behind including Parsis and the Christians also in that? Under the Hindu Marriage Act, definition of Hindu includes Jains, Buddhists and Sikhs. So these 3 minorities one can understand. What is the logic behind behind Christians as well as Parsis?
I'm not able to think the exact logic, but all I can analyze is because in these regions, they are excluding basically the majority, the Islamic states, the Islamic region, that's it, religion, sorry.
Okay, you've been teaching which class while working in the Katputli slum areas? What level did you teach?
So 6 to 10th.
6 to 8?
6 to 10th basically.
6 to 10. As compared to normal education, what is it what you found lacking amongst them?
Sir, earlier being a part of the informal education, the main thing that lacked in them was the basic foundational thing. So they were not able to read. They were not able to solve basic mathematical problems. So the first thing that I had taught them was the board maths. And there were so many students who used to come, ma'am, now we are able to solve this. So the basic foundational literacy is not there. So that is the first problem. The second, in particularly that area, the problem of child marriage was there. And the parents were really not keen to send their wards to study. So we had to persuade them to talk to their parents, please send your ward to study.
Child marriage between the classic 6 to 10. Okay, yes. Thank you.
Aarti, you have also opted for IPS as your option 2. What will you contribute as an IPS officer if you are selected?
So the first focus area will be women, because the safety of the woman is very important for the society as well as the economy to be upgraded. To become the superpower, women have equally to participate equally. So the women empowerment and women security.
How will you do that?
So the firstly, by way of lightening the streets, I think, which is very important. Secondly, by using technology. By technology, women can be make more secure and sure about their economic pursuits and educational pursuits. For example, we can go through mobile apps. It is already there, but we have to go for its enforcement, awareness that you have an app whereby you can actually report about your insecure situation, that emergency dialing and other things. Thirdly, sir, there could be more security by way of shelter homes for women. Security.
How it will ensure security for shelter homes for what type of women?
For working women, sir. And
Working hostel or shelter or what?
yes, working hostels. So as a women force, entire women police station also will encourage women to pursue their pursuits, and if they encounter with any problem, they can openly come and talk and discuss and report about it.
There is another problem with women issue, security issue is that in the night especially, like big cities like Delhi. So for in the night patrolling is there, but still many incidents take place in the night. How they can be curbed? Because the late night traveling is there. Most of the that Nirbhay issue, everything happened late night. So how that can be avoided? You mentioned one thing, lighting. What else can be done?
So special cabs and the transportation process where we can have women drivers also. Secondly, sir, I think the world has to change from a men's world, from a human's world, where on streets, if we find equal amount of men and women, it automatically becomes safer for women. So encouraging women by some companies like Amazon to have wins that women in night shift will sort the problem to a very larger extent, sir.
Okay, you tell me, we were discussing about CA. One of the chief ministers said that unless you apply for registration under NRC, nobody will be given citizenship under CA. What do you understand by that? Why he made this statement? Are you aware of that? Assam chief minister said that unless the person applies for registration under NRC, nobody will be given citizenship under CA. But how it interconnected?
So in my limited knowledge, I know about NRC that in Assam the deadline was 1971 for people who have entered who can get membership under the Assam Accord. However, the Citizenship Amendment Act talks about the deadline of 31st of December 2014. So this creates ambiguity, and I think the protests are going on. Further, it is a complex matter, so sir, I don't know.
Okay, forget it. Another thing about this CA, why the state governments are saying that we will not implement? What is their role in this implementation of CA? Because citizenship is a central union government issue. So what is their role? How they say we will not implement it? What does it mean?
Sir, in say the certificate or the basically information that a person has come before this date, or he or she is residing here, is to be given by the state government. However, the major role is to be done by the central government, I think. Earlier it was the DM who was supposed to take the matter forward. Now it is, I think, given to some other central authority.
So states have, you think, has not major role. What you want to say that? Huh?
In my limited knowledge, yes.
Okay. You tell me, what are the 3 challenges for Indian economy now at the moment? What are the challenges we are facing?
So can I take a moment?
Yes.
So the first and the foremost is the increasing protectionism. We are on our way ahead to become Atmanirbhar Bharat, expanding our manufacturing. So the exports and the protectionism may hurt India. Secondly, the low manufacturing base, which is actually another reason for low employment generation in the country. So one international, other domestic. And thirdly, sir, the rising inflation worldwide and the instability, global instability is also a problem to.
These are all external factors you have mentioned. No internal. Anyhow, thank you.
Okay, sir.
Thank you so much. All the best.
Thank you, sir.